Okay. All right. We are live. All right. Well, welcome everybody from wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Eric F. King, and I'm joined by my good friend and mentor, Norbert Erowitz from Canada.
Thank
And
you, Eric. Glad to be here.
yes, I really appreciate you being here for two reasons. Number one, we have a great topic that we're going to talk about and share with a lot of people. And also, I've learned a lot from you, and I'd love for my audience to learn from you as well. Okay.
Well, the feeling's mutual, man. I learn from you all the time too.
Awesome. All right. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Eric F. King, and I'm a sales coach. I've been a sales coach for about 15 years. So, I help people, entrepreneurs, to sell their offers 2x, 3x, 10x their sales without being pushy or salesy. Okay. And obviously, in sales, you have to market. You have to market your business before you can sell, right? So, I've been in the marketing industry for a long time. And I want to introduce Norb, and maybe you'll say a few things about yourself. But before you do, I just want everybody to know that I met you through a coaching program that you and your partners put together. I met you probably about 4 years now.
Yeah.
It's been a while, yeah. And you guys built a business of I think over $57 million over the last few years, and helped a lot of people. Right. So that's why I'm so happy to have you here today. So if you want to just share, a little bit about you so everybody knows who is on the call with me today.
Yeah, for sure. I'll try to keep it really short because it's now a long story because I've been doing this online thing for 16 years since 2007. But basically, in a nutshell, I'm a Polish immigrant to Canada, grew up in a working class family. I have absolutely zero business and marketing degrees or certifications. So I am not college educated, university trained. I don't have any of those degrees and diplomas. I'm 100% self-taught in the game of online marketing and entrepreneurship. And I share that I think it's important because I really stand for the fact and for the belief that the internet space and online business is an opportunity that is open to everybody, regardless of your background, regardless of your knowledge, your skill sets, your financial situation, what country you live in or come from. None of it matters when it comes to building a business online. We ran a company starting in 2008 for 15 years. We served over 138,000 customers from all around the world, all walks of life. And I've seen success stories, again, from everybody and anybody in this industry. And that's one of the reasons why I love it. And I'm so passionate about what we do, because we want to continue to inspire people to pursue entrepreneurship as a viable vehicle for themselves to create more time freedom and financial freedom in their lives. So right now, with our newest company that we launched last year, Digital Mentors, we focus on helping people take their knowledge, their skill sets, and turn that into a mentoring business, whether through coaches, digital courses, through coaching programs, digital courses, or events.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you said that because I have a coaching program, digital course, and events because I met you guys. So what you do works. And appreciate you. Oh, appreciate everybody on. I see Zion. I see Dr. Martine. She will be speaking on my stage soon. I see Adebayo. If you're on the call today, say hi. Let us know where you're zooming in from. And then put your questions in the chat because we want to answer your questions. See if I can get Norb to answer your questions today. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the best ways to attract more clients and make more sales. That's something we all need to learn, right? We all need to learn that. And I'm glad that Norb said he doesn't have a college degree because I want everybody to know on the line today, whoever you are, wherever you are, you can make it big in your business. You don't need to go back to school. You don't need to get a loan. I got a lot of them for all of you. You don't need any of that, right? You just need to dial in, learn from what he has to say today. So, Norbert, so can we just start with this? One thing I know for sure is that people have this force field up, like in terms of people don't want to be sold, right? People are afraid of scammers. Like people are always skeptical, right? So can you give us, some tips on what we can do to separate ourselves so that people will actually want to hear from us? They'll want to hear about our offers and things of that nature. So
Oh, I love that question. I mean, we talked quite a bit about that in our session, our episode for the Digital Mentors Mastery series, which you're going to be sharing that link with everybody here, because you guys definitely want to check out that interview that I did with Eric, where he talked about building authority and credibility. And one of the things that came up in that conversation was what a good person you are, Eric.
okay, awesome.
Yeah, as I was rewatching that video, that part of the interview really stuck out for me, because we were talking about being authentic online. We were talking about the importance of showing up on video online. And it came down to the fact that if you're a good person and you truly want to help people, which is the people that we've worked with, the 130,000 clients that we've served in 16 years in our past business, the majority of them were just good-hearted people that want to help others succeed in whatever area of their life that they want to succeed, right? Those are the types of people that we hope to attract. And so if you're a good person, all you need to do is show up authentically. There's enough salesmen out there. There's enough scammers out there. There's enough hype men out there. You see the guys. You don't have to be like them. When we see some of these successful people that are big, they have big personalities. They're loud, maybe even obnoxious to some extent. They're really good salespeople. Some of them make a ton of money, millions of dollars online. You do not have to be like them. And in fact, you don't want to be like them, because you can show up authentically with who you are, genuinely as the caring, good human being that you are, and simply communicate that through your messaging, through your videos. Just show up authentically, because people are looking for somebody that they can trust in the end, right? So how are you going to develop that trust with somebody? It's not going to be by selling them on something and hyping them up to believe in something. You can sell them just through genuine conversations, through genuinely showing up, providing value, answering their questions, helping them with a good heart. And when people see that from you, and that's what you were talking about, when people see that from you, when they watch your videos, they're like, there's something about you, Eric. I just trust you. I just feel like you're a good person, and you really, you've got the skill sets to help me with the problem that I have. And so that's why I'm going to give you money. That's why I'm going to enroll in your program. Right. So I think authenticity can be our superpower here, right? Especially if you have some good to do in the world and you're here to serve others and help others succeed.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you said that. Integrity is important in business. And I'll tell you a little story, which is interesting. There's a lady on the line here, and we never talked about this. She just happens to be here, Dr. Martine. You see her, she says hello. And there's a lady that spoke at one of my events. Her name is Kenyatta. Okay. She spoke at one of my events. Now, before she invested, she went to talk to a friend of hers who knew me 20 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
yeah, because a guy I worked with in a company, he knew me. So he called him to find out about me. And he told her that, yeah, he's a good guy. He's an honest guy. So she invested in speaking on my stage. And then a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I was in Colorado at a National Speakers Association event, and I met Dr. Martine. She saw the picture of Kenyatta on my banner and said, I know her, right? So now she can go to Kenyatta and say, hey, what do you think about Eric, right? Now my Dr. Martine will be on our next stage. Right. So it's interesting. People just focus on just grabbing money, but it's really more of a people business.
Man,
you give to people.
Yeah. Dude, I love that you said that, because look at the magic of the connections, right? And this is why it's so important to just show up. I was speaking to this to a client just yesterday, and I was telling her, because she's got a big heart and she wants to help a specific demographic of people with a specific problem or challenge that they have. And I said, look, you're a good person. You want to do good in the world. All you got to do is show up. All you got to do is be out there in the market and talk about what you do and actively connect with people. It's a beautiful thing. Like when you just show, I know every single event that I always say this all the time. This is why I think the power of live events is so important, but we can also replicate it virtually as well. Whenever I went to a live event, there was always something magical that happened. I use the word magical because it's like synchronistic, like something that you would have never expected, but there was one person that you met or one connection that you made that led to something else, and it would have never happened if you weren't at that event.
Yes.
And I see that online as well, right? If you just show up, make your message proud, like make your message out there, communicate your message consistently, doors will open, opportunities will open. People will all of a sudden come out of the woodwork, and it's like, hey, I know you. Hey, I like what you said there. Hey, you know, I know that person. And all of a sudden these connections start to happen and opportunities start to come our way. And we just have to have a little bit of trust in God and in our purpose that everything is going to work out exactly the way it's meant to if we just do the work and show up.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, the law of attraction doesn't mean that you just pray for something to happen wonderful for you. It's that you actually take action and allow those opportunities and those doors to open for you. All you got to do is step through the door. All you got to do is get out there, communicate your message, and the amazing connections and the amazing opportunities, they're going to come your way. You just got to trust.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, you said something interesting. You talk about doing it now. I have a philosophy that I always talk about, do it now. When you said, Eric, you have a link about the event, right? I put it in the chat right away. I did it now. Why? Because we forget, right?
Yeah.
We forget. So I just did it. So if you guys see at 2:35, I put it in the chat, right? So you guys can click on it and you know, and join. But my point, so it's important to do it now. I want to ask you a question. You know, a lot of people, their goal is to sell and make money. What would you say is the first step? Like, especially online, because a lot of people are online now. What is actually the first step? Because it's not sell your offer. That's what everybody wants to do. Because I get messages every day. I don't know if you do, where people are just want to sell me there, and I don't even know who they are.
Oh yeah.
They're like, click on the link. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not clicking on your link. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
So
Especially,
what's
I
the
mean,
first
yeah,
step?
on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you just get bombarded by people just trying to, like, you don't even know who they are. They don't know who you are. And they're just pitching you with messages. Hey, I can help you with your blah, blah, blah. And I can help you do this. And I do this and that. And it's like, I don't even know who you are. And I don't even need that right now. Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sales is a process. And so we can't rush that process. I mean, you can do that, but I would imagine that the people listening to this call here right now, they want more than just making sales. They want to be known for something.
Yes.
You want to build a reputation. You want to be known for something. Do you want to be known as the guy that just pitches everybody and spams everybody in their DMs? I don't think you want to be known for that, right? Because if you think about the thought leaders in your industry or in your space, do they do that? No, absolutely not, right? They're writing books, they're on stages, they're speaking on podcasts. Those are the things that they're doing. They're not spamming you with DMs to sell their stuff. So you got to understand that this is a process, and it actually is a pretty simple process. And it starts, step number one, with you building your audience or your network. I love that quote by Robert Kiyosaki. I learned it so many years ago, and I still use it all the time. Your net worth is directly proportionate to the size of your network.
Yes.
Okay. And I didn't understand it the first time I heard it. But over time, as I started to understand online business, I started to really understand the power of that, right? Because your network, I love Mike Dillard used this description of it. He said that your network, your audience, like your social media platforms and your network and connections, what you're doing there is you're actually building your distribution channels. You're building your distribution channels. Think about it that way. He talked about Starbucks, and he said, you know, Starbucks, why is Starbucks so successful? Right? It's not because of their coffee. I happen to like their coffee personally, but it's not because of their coffee, right? The reason why they're so successful, or they had so much success, is because there was a Starbucks on every corner. They mastered distribution. They had the best distribution channels. Okay. So we can take that as well. You look at the big influencers online with millions of people that follow them. Why are they able to just launch any kind of a business? You look at Mr. Beast, right? He's got a burger place. He's got chocolate bars. He's got, clothing that he can sell. He can start any business tomorrow, and he's going to make a ton of money. Why? Because he has a distribution channel. He has an audience. Now, we do not need to be Mr. Beast. Okay.
Yes.
We do not need to be an influencer unless you want to. We don't need a 1 million person following. but we can learn from those successes. We do need to understand the value of having a network or an audience online. So that is step number one. And if that is step number one, that means that is the most important activity you could be doing in your business. And that means you need to be doing that activity every single day consistently in your business. Right?
Yes.
If you're telling me that you're not making the amount of money that you want to be making in your business, my first question for you is, okay, let me see your numbers. Let me see your audience growth. That's going to be step number one. How many new email subscribers are coming onto your list every single week? How many new contacts are following you on your social media platform? How many new subscribers are you getting every single week? Because if we don't see those numbers increasing substantially, then we can't expect to be increasing our revenue either, right? Because it's all dependent on the success, on the reach of our distribution channel.
Yes.
So that is step number one. And you've got to address that. And you've got to look at your business activities right now. What's keeping you busy every single day? Because it should be audience growth. You should be able to track your audience growth. And every single day, every single week, your audience numbers should be increasing. That is step number one.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I see some people here. I see that our great friend, Brian Finale there. It's funny. We're going to talk about videos. I saw a video that Brian did 4 years ago. It was 8 minutes. I know exactly how long it was. And I was hooked. I said, I need to learn what that guy knows. And that's how I met you. And I met so many other people, right? That 8-minute video, life-changing, right? So can we talk about that a little bit and how video can actually help to build that audience, attract those people?
Man, I don't think video is optional anymore in the online space. I mean, maybe you can come up with a business model and a marketing strategy where you don't have to show up on video. Sure, you could. It's possible. But if you're at all in the space of providing services, coaching, consulting, mentoring, training, if you want to be known as a thought leader in your space, you have to be doing video. You have to be doing video. Because if you think about it, there's a personal connection, and you and I have both experienced it. And anyone who's been doing video for any amount of time have experienced it. You've experienced people connecting with you, contacting you, sending you messages, or people you speak to directly, and they tell you, I feel like I already know you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We've all got that. There is no other medium where you can speak to hundreds of people. I mean, here we are on a Wednesday afternoon, hanging out in our house, turning on a camera, jumping on a call like this, and we're talking to a bunch of people right now live. Some people, they're going to watch the recording of this, and they're getting an opportunity to build a relationship with us, honestly. Like, they either like us or they don't, and we can't control that, right? Okay, you're not going to please everybody. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. But there's going to be a bunch of people that watch this, and they're like, I like those guys. They kind of know what they're talking about, and they seem kind of authentic. And they're going to be curious to learn more about what we do, what you do, and what I do. And that's how those relationships are built. And it's because we're showing up on video. Video is the closest thing to being able to transfer energy and emotion and connection. And yes, you can build connection and relationship through video. That's the power that we have of the internet right now. Is I don't have to meet with somebody in a coffee shop and, go belly to belly and shake their hands. I can record a video and pretty much have the same impact of building relationship, building trust, building connection with somebody else that's literally miles away in a different country overseas.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's incredible power. That levels the playing field for anybody, right? So that somebody like me, who's a theater school dropout without a college business marketing degree, can get on camera, record some videos, and sell coaching and mentorship and courses all day long.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's just fire. My kids would say that's lit. That's lit. That's
No
lit.
cap, no cap.
No cap, no cap. That's lit. And I was just thinking of a situation I had. So when I first got online, which is not long ago, people think I've been online forever. I've only been online for like 4 years.
Yeah, that I forget that too, Eric. Yeah.
I just got online, right? So I was online. I started to do videos, and I was a little apprehensive at first, but then I started. And a guy sets an appointment with me to meet with me. Okay, and he meets with me, and I was going to share with him more information about my program. I had a course at the time, and he said, Eric, I don't really have much time, but like I'll pay for it right now. Like, how much is it? I'll pay for it right now. And I'm like, but you don't know what it is though. He said, yeah, it doesn't really matter because I've been seeing your videos, so I trust you. I know you. I'm like, wow. And he paid, I think it was $9.97 or something like that. I'm like, wow, this video stuff works.
Yeah.
So it really does. It really
Yeah,
does.
that's the thing. We get so caught up in like the sales strategy of it. And I love what you teach with sales, right? Because you're not teaching like how to deal with objections and the
Mhm.
right words to say and here's a script and these magic phrases will close your prospects
Yeah.
and like that stuff's silly, honestly, and we don't need any of that stuff if we can just build a genuine connection with another human being. It can be that
Yes.
simple.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we've established that video is important, right? And oh, by the way, I see another person in here, Michael Pope. I saw him one time at an event, but I've been watching his videos, so I feel like I know him. I've been watching his. He's a great speaker. So yeah, and Martine, self care. I've learned so much about self care since I've been watching her videos.
Mm,
So guys,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys need any more examples. So yeah, so okay, so we've established that everybody here, if you haven't started, you're gonna start. Okay, you're gonna start, right? Now, what would you say is the next step? Okay, so now we're building an audience. People are connecting with us. We have more people following us. They're liking our posts, whatnot. So now, what would you say is the next step after building an audience?
So I like to use this term: demonstrate your expertise. Demonstrate your expertise. Okay. How can you demonstrate your expertise? People talk about, creating valuable content and providing value. You guys have heard, people talk about that. But a lot of people are kind of like, well, what does it mean? What does value mean? What is valuable? I like to think of it in terms of demonstrating your expertise, right? So if you're a coach, consultant, trainer, author, speaker, you've got knowledge or skill sets that you want to communicate with other people, or you have some kind of specific solution that you sell, whether that's a service through an agency, or even some kind of business opportunity for people, right? You want to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about,
Yes.
because you've got to build know, like, and trust, right? The basics of sales: know, like, and trust. So we already talked about how powerful video and content marketing can be to help people to know and like you. And establishing that trust, there's a few different elements that come into that trust, right? One is that they just like you, so they might trust you. The second thing is, can they relate to me? Do they understand me? Like, that's what my prospect is typically asking. Will my prospect understand me? Will they be able to help me because they understand me? So that's affinity. So that's where you can share some of your personal experiences. So me sharing the fact that I'm a theater school dropout, I was a snowboard bum in my early 20s. I have no degrees, no marketing or business degrees, and yet I've been successful in marketing and business online. That's affinity. That helps me to connect with other people who might not have a business or marketing degree, who might not have the pedigree and the expertise and all that, and the experiences and the family and the background and all that kind of stuff, right? I'm just an immigrant who learned a few things about marketing and business through courses and mentorship and online workshops and stuff like that, right? So that creates that affinity. Demonstrating expertise now shows my prospect that I know how to solve their problems. Okay. So how do we demonstrate expertise? We do it through content marketing, whether it's through written posts or through videos. We're taking a specific problem, challenge, or question that people have, and we're answering those questions. We're guiding them. We're giving them some insights. We're giving them some tips. We're giving them some strategies. We're giving them some ideas. We're sharing with them that we know what we're talking about. That's demonstrating your expertise. And we can do that through video. We can do that through ebooks, through lead magnets. We do that through content marketing, essentially. Okay. So when you're creating content, are you demonstrating your expertise? Right. So that's why, yes, we can post content of what we had for dinner or a picture with our family going on a trip. People like that kind of stuff because it's social media. They like that kind of personal stuff and they want to know you as a person. But if you're building a business online, you've got to be creating content strategically and focusing on demonstrating your expertise helps you do that, right? Identify the problems, challenges, pain, questions, false beliefs, misconceptions that your ideal client has and create content around that. That helps to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about, that you have an expertise in this area. People will believe in you, they'll trust in you, and they'll take the next steps, right? So we build our audience and then we demonstrate our expertise.
Awesome. Awesome. Can you speak to that word expertise? So I see a lot of people online that do 7 different things. I was literally speaking with someone, I won't mention the name or anything, but they wanted to speak on my stage. So I asked them what they do and they said it. And I said, okay, I go on the website and they have 10 different things. And I said, unfortunately, you can't speak on my stage because my audience will be confused by everything you do. So can you let everybody know that it's actually much better to focus on one thing and be good at it than to try and I guess they want everybody to be their prospect. So they're like, I do a little bit of this and yeah. Can you speak to that a little bit?
This is a huge one in this space. And it goes against maybe some like logical thinking, natural thinking that people have. People think about themselves and it's like, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. So I can help people in this, right? Here's all the different ways that I can help people. And you have a big heart and you want to help a lot of different people. The challenge with that is then it's very difficult to create effective marketing campaigns. Okay. Because an effective marketing campaign has a refined message to market. So the first funnel I ever built was specifically for network marketers in the network marketing space. And I had specific struggles in that space. I was an introvert. I was not very good at networking. I didn't have a lot of confidence and connections. And I struggled with the traditional ways of prospecting and all that kind of stuff, which many people do. And I discovered online marketing. And when I recorded the video, to communicate that message, I was able to speak very specifically to very specific problems that my ideal client was experiencing. And I was able to to speak very specifically about how I was able to solve those problems through online marketing and paid ads and sales funnels. And because of that, once I got on the phone with those prospects, I remember, and I had this experience many times, they would say to me, Norbert, it was like you were reading my mind.
Wow.
You said exactly what I was thinking of. How did you know that's how I felt? Okay. That is an example of perfect message to market. And that is the secret to successful marketing campaigns.
Wow.
It's not the funnel. It's not the automations. It's not your graphic design. It's not the color of the button. Like, it's not any of those things that are going to make your campaign successful. What's going to make your marketing campaign successful is perfect message to market. And it is impossible to create a refined and congruent message to market if you're trying to speak to too many people.
Wow. That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Because you think about it. Let's use the example of sales, right? A young, brand new salesperson just getting started in selling tech to corporations. Okay. What are the specific problems that person has? Right? They might not understand the basics of selling. They might not understand how to build a relationship quickly with somebody. They may not understand how to build trust with somebody in a quick conversation or how to deal with objections. Okay. So if I were to create a product to help that particular client, the messaging would be very specific to the problems and challenges and circumstances of that ideal client. Okay.
Yes.
But if I wanted to help a sales professional, a sales executive to get a raise, to get a promotion and become a sales manager, does he have a different problems?
Absolutely.
Does he have a different desire? Does he have a different outcome that he wants? Does he have different challenges that he's experiencing? Absolutely. It's a completely different offer now for me to help the sales manager who wants to become like the salesperson who wants to become a sales manager. He's got different problems. He's got different challenges. He's got different ambitions. So it's a completely different message that I would be communicating to that person. And so I can't serve both people with one marketing campaign.
Yes.
So when we try to go into the market and we try to serve too many people, especially when you're just getting started, your message becomes very general and very ambiguous. And you're trying to speak to everybody, so you're speaking to no one. And that's why you're not getting engagement on your content. And that's why you're struggling to attract people to what you do, because they don't actually get what you do and they don't actually see that you can help them. But when you can narrow your focus, and I use the example of this is one of the best examples. Think about Elon Musk and Tesla, okay? Think back to when Tesla came into the market. It's about 13, 14 years ago now, I think. I lose track of time because it's been a while. Think about it. Tesla's coming into the market, and he's going to be competing with billion-dollar manufacturers of automobiles. How do you compete with that? Okay? Notice what he did. He didn't try to make an economy vehicle, a pickup truck, an SUV, and a sedan, right? He didn't try to make them all at once. He didn't try to serve all those clients all at once. What did he do? What was the first vehicle that he broke into the market with?
It was an expensive vehicle.
It was an expensive vehicle. It was the
That's how I remember that.
Yeah, it was the Model S.
Yes.
It was a luxury vehicle that was the most technically advanced. It was a tech play for him. So he wanted to create the most technically advanced luxury vehicle. He did not make that for everybody. He made it for a very specific ideal client. And because he did that, he did something better than any of the big manufacturers could ever do, because they were busy trying to serve everybody. He chose one perfect ideal client that he could serve better than all those other manufacturers, and he accomplished that. He built a vehicle that was technologically more superior to any of the others. He made it a luxury vehicle because he knew those were the people that were going to be able to pay the money for it, and he broke into the market. Yes. And then later, once he established himself in the market, he then expanded to other verticals. So I would really encourage you to use a successful model like that. And that's just one example. I could give you hundreds of other examples in the corporate world. And that's just one perfect example to show you how powerful niching down and focusing on one ideal client is, especially when you're just getting started.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. That was fire. And you're right. It's not natural to do that. It almost doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't like I want to talk to everybody, right?
Because if I don't, then I'm missing out on prospects.
Yeah. I always say in my training, fight human nature. You have to fight human nature every day. Don't just do what everybody's doing. Fight human nature. So awesome. We do have a question, and I think it relates a little bit. So Arnella says, what if your audience is growing and in your audience you have people who are not even your potential clients because they are in different industry, but they follow you? Would you say that this is still audience growth? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a really good question, Arnella. That's awesome. So obviously we want to ideally build our audience with our potential ideal clients, right? And for sure, you want the majority of your audience to be your potential ideal clients, okay? But there's other benefits to your audience beyond just your potential ideal clients, okay? Think about this. Another component of your audience, your network, is partners, potential collaborators, potential joint ventures. So for instance, someone like Eric right now, even though you have been a client of ours, but I don't think of you as a client anymore. I think of you as a partner, because you have an audience, we have an audience, you have specific value to provide, I have specific value to provide. And so we can get together and we can collaborate. We can collaborate on doing a summit like what we're doing with the Digital Mentors Mastery series. We can collaborate by doing LinkedIn events like this. We can collaborate by doing a podcast together. We can collaborate and do projects together, or collaborate to help each other grow our audiences together, right? You look at the big influencers and the creators on YouTube and different social media platforms, they're always collaborating together, okay? So your audience should be made up mostly of your potential ideal clients, but also people you want to network with and potentially collaborate with. So right now I'm building on LinkedIn. That's where I'm focused on building my audience. I'm very late to the game. But one of the things that I'm focusing on is connecting with some of the big influencers on LinkedIn. And my goal there is to make them a direct connection so I can actually get into the DMs and have a conversation and build a relationship with them. And just in 2 months of doing that, I've already connected with some bigger influencers in the space. And all I did was I started following them. I started commenting on their stuff, right? I started engaging on their posts. And then after one specific engagement where there was like a personal connection in the comments, I reached out and sent a DM and made that personal connection. And now I had a personal conversation with them. Okay. So I'm building collaborators. I'm building ideal clients and collaborators. And the third element is people that might engage on your content. Okay. So as you grow your audience, it starts to snowball, because what happens? Your audience starts to engage with your content. And as you get more engagement on your content, the algorithm starts to push it to more new people.
Yes.
So there's people in my audience that are never going to be an ideal client. I'm not going to collaborate with them, but they engage on my content, or potentially might engage on my content. And that's a big benefit for me as well, because the more engagement that I can get, the better it is for my algorithm, and it helps me to grow, right? So me building an email list is not just for my clients, but it's also because now I can publish a YouTube video, I can send it to my email list, and automatically I have views, likes, and comments on my content.
Yes.
And as you continue to grow that over time, it just starts to multiply. It's like a big snowball, and that's where the momentum kicks in. And all of a sudden, instead of growing at 50 new followers, you're growing at hundreds of new followers every day.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's interesting just listening to you speak, because I've heard what you're saying. I heard that years ago, and I did it, and it worked. Right. So some of you on this line right now, you have no idea who you're listening to. Like you don't even understand. Just do exactly what he says. Exactly. Right. There's a guy on here named Zion. I met him on LinkedIn, and he has like 25,000 followers, probably more. And I learned a lot from him about LinkedIn, just like you're learning from other people. And we've collaborated, we've worked together, actually done business together now. But again, when I came on LinkedIn, I looked for some people that are already doing great things, and he was one of them. And that's how it works, just like you said. Just like you said. And I just want to, so we don't forget, can you talk about that event that you put together? Because some people may have to drop off, and I don't want them to miss this. So
yeah,
can you tell them about this event?
Yeah, I saw you just posted that link. So I'm sure you guys have all seen or attended virtual summits. I've attended many virtual summits. We've ran virtual summits in the past. I was starting to get tired of virtual summits and we did a friend of mine that helped us put this one together, Katie, she did a survey, because she's done like 7 virtual summits. And so she did a survey of her audience, and she asked, what do you like and what do you not like about summits? And one of the big responses that we got was, they're just too overwhelming. It's a lot of speakers in a short amount of time, and there's just no way that I can consume all of that content and really get the benefits of it. And one of the reasons that summits are put together that way is because they're focused on getting the upsell purchase, the VIP purchase, where you purchase the recordings and stuff, which is understandable. But so what we wanted to do with this summit, and we're trying to come up with a new term for it. We still haven't come up with a new term for it. We actually started calling it the non-summit when we started working on this project, because we wanted to do a collaborative event, a virtual summit, but we wanted to take a completely different spin on it and deliver it in a very different fashion. And so that's what we did with this event. So it's actually a little bit of an experiment. And I'd love for you guys to check it out and see how you experience it and if you get a lot out of it. So what we decided to do is, instead of delivering, 30 speakers in 3 days, full days where you just have to listen to all this content and it's on a whole bunch of different topics, and you kind of leave overwhelmed. You learn a lot, but you're like, how do I actually apply that in my business, right? So what we decided to do is spread this out over 30 days. We've got 22 speakers. And one of the things that we focused on is delivering outcome-focused trainings. So each training, we talk about a very specific topic, and we try to deliver some action steps that you can actually apply into your business. And we've spread it out over 30 days. So what we're doing is we're releasing 5 episodes every week on Monday, and you have 7 days to access those episodes for free at absolutely no cost. So every week, every Monday, we premiere 5 more episodes for that week. You got 7 days to go through them if you want. And this is going to take 30 days for the whole event. So there's lots of time for you to engage. We're also delivering this inside of a private community. So instead of just on a website, we're delivering this inside of a private community. Private communities are hot. They're, everyone's excited about Skool because, Hormozi purchased Skool, and there's lots of marketing going on around private communities. So we decided to leverage a private community. And so people can engage in there, they can comment, they can ask questions, the speakers can get involved and engage and answer questions and stuff. So it creates a community aspect. There's lots of engagement that we're hoping to create, and it gives you lots of time to consume all the information, right? So it's a brand new concept for a collaborative event. And we're hoping it takes off, and that more people, kind of replicate this model and play around with this model, experiment with it, so that we can create kind of a new virtual summit that will be beneficial more for the attendees.
Absolutely. And it may be a new concept, but you have some incredible speakers. I'm not saying that because I'm one of them. That's not why I'm saying that. I am one of the speakers. I think my video is out today. But anyway, aside from that, there are some incredible coaches, several 7-figure coaches. Now, I know someone down here saying, well, money doesn't buy you happiness. Well, broke doesn't buy you anything. That's a good friend of mine says that. She said, well, broke doesn't buy you anything. But anyway, a lot of very successful people in this group. So I've learned a lot myself. So click on the link. It's free. I mean, you have no excuse, right? It's free. Click on it. Join, and then you can watch them as you want to, right? It's not, there's no pressure to, you have to watch it today, right? Yeah. You have a whole week to watch each one. So definitely recommend that you do that, grab that.
Yeah, check it out. We do have a VIP bundle upgrade that is optional. Some of the trainers contributed some of their paid courses into the VIP bundle. So it's literally like $1,000 worth of paid courses. Plus a bonus workshop that I'm going to be doing in November, where we're going to take everything that we learn from the summit, and we're actually going to create a plan for you, a custom plan for you together on the workshop to help you achieve your income goals. Wow. So that's going to be included in the VIP bundle as well. That's optional, but we collaborated and we got all these really great courses together that you can get for a huge discount.
That's awesome. And that's for the serious people. That's what I say. Yeah. The serious people that are not just thinking about success, but they actually want to take action and have success, right? Yeah, so it's there for you. Awesome. And so, by the way, if you guys want to ask a question, you have like 10 minutes to do so. So put it in the chat. I did want to ask a question from you, Norb, regarding social proof. I didn't understand this for a long time, and now I do. So I want people to hear from somebody else, right? What is the importance of social proof, of testimonials, of things of that nature? Because it really exploded my business. And at first I just said, I'll just sell them on what I do, but that's not enough, right? People actually need to see social. So can you talk about that for a while?
Yeah. I mean, this comes right back to the element of trust, right? Trust is at the heart of your business, and, being able to sell effectively. And I love what Michael J. Pope just said there. I did it and it worked. Powerful action statement. That's just it, right? Like when somebody can say, hey, what you showed me helped, your program, your coaching, your advice, your guidance helped me to achieve XYZ. That social proof is critical. Like we are social human psychology again, right? You can't fight against human psychology. We are social creatures. We need to know that, hey, did this work for other people? Hey, are there other people that are a part of this? And that's another reason why audience is important. Because when, again, you can't fight human nature. When I see an influencer that has an audience of hundreds of thousands or millions, automatically, instantly, my judgment is, well, they must know what they're doing. They must have some expertise.
Yes.
They must, right? There must be something about what they do that so many people follow them and like them and watch their stuff, right? So that the audience size, and then you come to another person and they've got 100, 200, 300. It's not that they're any better, but socially, the social proof, immediately I'm like, oh, okay, well, they're either just at the beginning of the game, or there's not that many people that really follow them and believe in them and trust them, right? So social proof is critical. And this is one of the reasons why wherever you're at in your business, you've got to be focused on collecting social proof, asking for testimonials, asking for recommendations, to collect that, because you have to be proactive in it. It's very rare that somebody's going to give you a testimonial. We're all busy. We all have 100 things to do, right? And so don't ever feel like you're being nagging or manipulative or weird in any way when you ask for testimonials. You have to, because you need those testimonials. You need that social proof so that people believe in you, right? Because they're going to be looking for it, right? Who else has this person helped? Who else trusts and believes in him? Just like you were saying, that friend that, called up somebody that knew you from 20 years ago, and they were able to say, no, I trust that guy. He's good. There's so much value in that. So yeah, social proof is huge.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And I actually have a story about that. At first, like I said, I didn't really understand that. I'm like, why do I have to tell somebody to do a testimonial? And then what happened was I was doing my coaching program, and the lady, she was able to use my system, and she was able to sign some people up, and she was so excited. And she told me, and I said, can you do me a favor and do a short video about what you're talking to me about? She said, sure. So I thought she was going to do a video saying, this is what I did, this is how much I sold, this is how much I made. And she didn't say anything like that. She said, her name is Sabrina. She's right on my side. She said, Eric is just a trustworthy person. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I look at the video, I'm like, oh, that's not what I needed. But then guess what happened? So I put it up with my other videos. And I'm speaking with a potential client, and we're talking, and she says, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get what you have. Again, she didn't want to even know the details. So I signed her up, and then I said, so what made you want to just get it? She said, well, I saw a lady online talking about how trustworthy you are. And that's all I needed to hear. And I'm like, wow, the testimonial I thought wasn't a good testimonial that's the only thing she needed to hear. So my point is, let them just say what they feel. Don't put any words in their mouth, because you never know the way what they count as important may be important to somebody else.
That's another benefit of these testimonials and the social proof is I mentioned the idea of affinity, right? People being able to relate to somebody else. So another reason why you need all testimonials and social proof is because people want to see themselves in what you do. And if they can connect with somebody else that shares their values, shares their perspective, shares their background, anything like that, it's like, oh, okay, there's someone like me that did it. There's someone like me that trusted him. There's someone like me that had success with that program. Maybe I can do it too, right? They need to see themselves in the story. And that's where social proof can absolutely help. That's a perfect example. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So as we wind down, I thought somebody else would ask a question, but it's the same person. So, I figure whoever is showing up and wants to ask the questions, we're here to help them. So Arnella again says, related to the audience and engagement, do you recommend removing anyone from our network who never engages with our content? Recently, I heard this advice as it namely helps you improve your reach and algorithm. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Yes, that wherever you heard that advice, the advice is correct. Okay. I'm going to give a little caveat to it, but the advice is correct. because the algorithm is looking for how much engagement you're getting from your existing audience. So many of the platforms, what they do first is they push your content out to your existing network. And based on the engagement numbers that you get from your existing network, if it's good, then it keeps pushing it out to colder network, to colder people, to people that don't know you, right? But if the engagement isn't good, then it gets suppressed and it doesn't get shared out. Because if you can't get engagement with your existing network, chances are the quality of the content isn't good enough to get engagement with other people. So for that reason, it makes sense to remove people that don't engage with your content over a certain period of time. Now, the only caveat that I would put in there is how important is this activity? Okay. So if you're just getting started, if you're a solopreneur, if you're super busy, there's lots of other things that are probably more important than for you to have to worry about that at this stage in the game. Okay. So I would not put that on the list of priorities. I wouldn't put it at the top list of priorities. Like, this is super critical. You better figure this out. You got to remove these people. Okay. But it's definitely good advice. And it is definitely something that you should consider at some point. There are automated tools that do this as well for you, depending on the social platform.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's talk about this. And then after this, I want us to talk about the power of speaking, right? And how that can really help people. All right. So Tony says, what is the best way to start getting the first few clients when you're starting from scratch so you can get testimonials? So yeah, basically he has no testimonials. That was my issue. You have no testimonials, but you want to get some clients. So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, depending on what you're selling, right? So I'm just going to use the example if you're selling coaching or consulting. Okay. You want to have the simplest and most direct marketing strategy. Okay. So all you need to do is understand the basic customer journey when it comes to marketing. There's 3 stages in the customer journey: attention, getting the attention of your ideal prospect; consideration, qualifying that prospect and allowing them to consider doing business with you; and then acquisition, actually enrolling that client. Okay. Those are the only 3 stages. And that is your sales funnel, moving your prospect through those 3 stages. So when you're starting out, you want to think about what is the simplest, quickest, easiest, cheapest way for me to accomplish those 3 goals, to move a prospect through those 3 areas. Okay. And the simplest way is going to be the most direct way. So you don't need complicated funnels. You don't need a webinar funnel. You don't need all these convoluted things that different gurus will try to sell you. All those stuff is great. But when you're just trying to get your first few clients, you want to focus on efficiency, speed, and simplicity. Okay. So here's an example of a very simple process. And this, you could build a 6-figure business on this. And you'll notice that there's no website involved in this. Okay. Check this out. Attention. How do we get the attention of our ideal client? On a social platform. Okay. So you choose one social platform. Let me say that again. One social platform. Okay. You'll notice that Eric is only on LinkedIn. He doesn't dance on TikTok, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. He's focused on LinkedIn only. So you go to one social platform where you believe your ideal client is hanging out and where you can easily find them. LinkedIn is great for that. Facebook's great for that. Instagram can be good for that as well. And you specifically identify those ideal clients and you make connections with those ideal clients. Okay. And on LinkedIn, it's so easy. Like, you can literally directly find people that are your ideal clients and start sending connection requests, right? The second is consideration. So how are they going to consider doing business with you? Well, obviously you should be putting out some content. Okay. But more directly is a conversation. A conversation. That's the most direct, simplest, easiest way that you can allow them to consider doing business with you, and you qualify them to see if they're a good fit. So we've got getting their attention on social media, direct message conversation, and then the next thing is acquisition or enrollment. And that's going to be like a one-on-one Zoom call. Okay. So that would be the process that I would recommend. That's your funnel when you're just getting started, because it's the simplest, quickest, easiest. You don't need to set up different convoluted things. You can get into action right away. Okay. And you can track your activity as well. So you can improve that activity and improve those results. Beyond that is getting very specific with who your ideal client is. Because again, if you're trying to serve too many people, then who are you looking for on LinkedIn? You don't know. But if I know that I'm looking for coaches specifically, my God, I mean, I can literally find 100 coaches in 5 minutes on LinkedIn that I can send connection requests to and start having a conversation with in DM.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not building a complicated funnel. I'm just getting to work.
Yes.
Now, if I don't have a lot of clients and I don't have any testimonials, I want to come up with a simple offer. Okay. A simple offer with a specific outcome. This is key. This is key. You need to be able to promise something to your client. You need to be able to promise an outcome. So you don't sell, and coaches get into this all the time, life coaches and executive coaches. I help people be more successful. Okay. That's not an outcome because I don't know what that means. What does it mean to be successful? Now you have to explain it to me. Now I have to explain what I want from success. Okay. No, determine what is a specific outcome that you can promise your ideal client. And when you actually get clear on who you're serving and how you serve them, now you can create a promise. Now you can create an offer around that promise. So when you get on the call with them and you're pitching your program or your offer, you're saying, look, based on our conversation, I understand that you have these problems. Here's the outcome that I promise. So now you've created the gap. Here's where you are. Here's what I help you accomplish. And here's how we do that. That's going to be your process. Okay. That's your process. Is how you bridge the gap. And once you've done that, you've identified that and you've got a clear outcome that you can promise. Now it's a simple yes or no. Do you want me to help you achieve that outcome? Yes or no. And when you're starting out with your first few clients, if you're having, obviously you want to charge as much as you can, but your first few clients, I've heard some people, even Hormozi says, that do it for free just to get a testimonial. I don't agree with that. I would never deliver coaching or consulting or anything like that for free. I would always charge something because people that pay attention.
Yes.
If you give away something for free, they're not going to value it. You're going to probably be chasing them just to show up on your call, right? So you need to have some kind of exchange of value. But what you can do is you can give them a huge discount. Hey, listen, I'm trying to get my first few testimonials. I'm normally going to be selling this program for $3,000. But for you right now, I want to give you a very special discount. I'm going to give you 70% off. And for just $600 or whatever it is, I'm going to work with you for the next 3 months. We're going to help you achieve this outcome in exchange for an authentic and genuine testimonial at the end of the process. Does that work for you?
I love that. Yes.
Okay.
That's very good.
So that's one approach.
A win-win situation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you get the testimonial, they get the service, and it's a win-win. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let's end with this. I want to ask you about the role of speaking, right? And then Carl asked a question that has to do with speaking, basically, right? So if you can tell me, well, we'll answer the question, and then we'll also talk about speaking in general as a way to generate sales. So Carl says, in your opinion, are studio live events to showcase your expertise, I guess, can attract more clients, or is it effective to use studio live events?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Yeah. And I have experience in studio events, but I want you to speak on that.
Yeah. Well, again, think about the fundamentals that we talked about at the very beginning of this conversation, right? Authority, credibility, and trust. Okay. There's a couple of things that can give you authority, credibility, and trust very quickly. One is a tool like a book, right? So a book opens doors, gives you authority, gives you credibility, establishes trust. Speaking in general gives you authority, credibility, and trust. If you're speaking on stage in front of an audience, that is huge for your authority, your credibility, and your trust, because there's somebody that trusted you to put you on stage in front of their audience, right? You obviously have credibility and expertise for somebody to put you on stage in front of an audience. So you're establishing all of those things right away, instantly. Now, as far as these studio live events, I love this concept personally, because it can be hard as a new speaker or as a coach to get booked for a live event. Like, to get booked for events is super difficult. It can be really challenging. But here you have an opportunity to show up in a studio live event, have a live audience that you're speaking to, and then you get all of the video footage because it's recorded in a studio. You get all of the video footage that now you can leverage into your future social media marketing that demonstrates credibility, expertise instantly. When somebody watches your video, I mean, my studio here is pretty decent. I will not show you the mess on my desk and everything around here.
I
Okay,
won't
it's
either.
absolute chaos in this office, but you're not allowed to know that because all you see is just the nice little background here. Okay. So, this looks nice. It's a nice setup. It looks kind of professional and stuff, but it's nothing compared to being in a studio with a big Zoom screen of 100 people watching you and you speaking on stage with other speakers, sharing that stage with other speakers. There's a huge, it's a completely different level, right? And so that elevates your authority, your credibility, your expertise, and your trust instantly. And now you can leverage that in your content, for months and months on end. It's beautiful.
Yes, I agree. I couldn't have said it better. You took the words out of my mouth. We had a studio event last week. We had some great speakers, coaches on stage, and you guys, if you're connected to me, you'll see all the videos very soon and pictures. But yeah, it's the most effective way for me over the last 5 years to get my message out, and I've done it all. I've done webinars, seminars, summits. I've done it all. And to me, it was just the best. It got me the most people watching. It got me the most people signing up for my offer. So I definitely recommend it. Now, it's not for everybody. Not everybody is ready to speak on a stage or in the studio because, when that number goes 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, some people can't deal with that. They can't deal with that. But I would recommend that if there's anybody here that, you've tried different things, you have a message, you have a program, and you want to challenge yourself because you need to do something that gets you scared if you want to move where you are anyway, right? So if you're a little scared, perfect. Perfect, right? So connect with me. Just you can connect with me here, studiospeaking.com. I'll put it in here. And so I recommend it, obviously. And Dr. Martine will be one of our next speakers. She's a self-care coach in October. So you guys will see everything very soon and you will see her on stage. So thank you so much. Norb, I want to also share with everybody, I do have an ebook because you said a long time ago, create an ebook. So what did I do? I created an ebook, just like you said. And since I first met you and Brian and your team, I have generated thousands of leads from my ebook that you said it one day and I did it, right? So I created a new one. I'm excited about it because it will help a lot of people. 100 ways to generate leads and sales, 100 ways. And I just put it in the chat. So if you're on the call now, grab it, send it to people that they're struggling in sales and marketing, and it's absolutely free. Just put your information in there. All right. So I just want to, as we wrap up, Norbert, is there any closing remarks that you would like to give? Anything that you'd like to say before we close it out today?
Yeah, it's always kind of the same thing. Focus on the fundamentals. Don't get overwhelmed with all the stuff that you could be doing online, because there's a lot of stuff you could do, right? You've got a lot of options when it comes to marketing and growing your business online. And the more people you listen to and learn from, you're going to learn lots of different tips, strategies, techniques. What's really important is that you understand the context and the fundamental principles of what it takes to be successful online. So for instance, when it comes to marketing, right? Marketing online seems very complicated and very confusing. But marketing really comes down to 3 activities, okay? And you always have to take everything back to its simplest fundamental principles. When we're marketing, regardless of what marketing strategy you choose to do, and you shouldn't be trying to do 5 different marketing strategies, you should try to master 1 marketing strategy at a time, okay? All marketing online is 3 activities: building an audience, building a relationship with that audience, and selling to that audience. That's it. That's marketing. That is marketing in 3 steps. And that reflects the activities that you need to be doing every single day, consistently and persistently over a long period of time. You got to be building your audience, right? Every single day, consistently and persistently over a long period of time, you got to be engaging with your audience, building relationships, building know, like, and trust. And every single day, consistently and persistently, you got to be selling to that audience. You got to be making offers. You got to get into conversations. You got to make the offer. You got to send them to the sales page, send them to the buy now page, send them to book a call with you. Okay. If you just focus on those 3 activities, consistently and persistently over time, you will get results. You will improve your results and you will have success. But don't try to do 10 different things to do these activities. All you need to do is one strategy. Like all Eric is doing is one social media platform, LinkedIn, right? He's building his audience, he's engaging with his audience, and he's selling to his audience. That's it. And as long as you focus on those three activities consistently, you're going to improve your results. You're going to get results.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was better than a TED Talk. Everybody talks about TED Talk. That was better than a TED Talk. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm glad you didn't go to Harvard because you'd have made this complicated.
Probably.
It's very simple. Just follow the plan and do it now, folks. If you see that, if you say, hey, I want to go to that summit, click on the link, do it now, register. If you want to get my ebook, if you want more ways to grow your business, click it now, do it now. If you want to follow Norbert, you're like, I need to learn more from this guy, then look for his name, click on it, follow him now, right? Do it now. So I want to just thank everybody for being here. Congratulations for being serious about your success, and we will see you at the next event. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure to be here with you today. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. All right.